Good morning and sliding in the afternoon. Judy Allen here, San Antonio, Texas, with Adventurous Stamping, right? I'm a Stampin' Up independent demonstrator. So today I'm going to give you a sneak peek of something that's going to be in our Retreat to Go box. And then I'm also going to show you Snowy Wonder. We can make that shaker card, right? So there's different ways you can do it. I'll even show you sometimes how I get inspired without even trying, right? And today's one of those days. So if I look a little hectic, I don't know if I do or don't, bear with me because I'm in the middle of getting Retreat finished up, embossing and die cutting. I'm doing club, getting it finished up and everything because everything goes out this weekend, right? So with that, and I've already misplaced paper more than once, right? Nothing like having a 12 by 12 sheet of paper that's blue. You know you just pulled it out and you can't find it. Well, as I was coming to get ready to do my live, I found it. I was at the top of the stairwell, just waiting for me to pick it up. So here you go. That's the day it's been, but at least we know we have heat because the guy came by to check the units to make sure everything was working good. Now we just need some cold weather. All right, let's go down the hands because if we can't get it one way, we're going to make it look that way, right? So let's see what we've got here with the hands. So this is what we're going to be using. This is the Snowy Wonder. And this is the sneak peek I was going to give you, right? Now this, we do everything from keep it simple or step it up. Even in our retreats, we'll start simple and we try to work our way up to something more challenging, right? So that's how we usually do it. And this is pretty cool, right? How you like that? Oh yeah. So I wish I did have a little snow, but I have no snow, right? So just want to show you. So we just do different things, right? It's not always exactly the same. We always try to vary things and so forth, and I just want to give you a sneak peek. That was all the sneak peek you're getting. And let's get going with today's, right? So actually today is I've actually used the paper. I've got all kinds of tools here. So I'm going to show you how we did some of it. And this is a white embossing powder. I'm going to show you something about that. So with this set, with this bundle, the dies will cut out several things. I don't have all the dies here. I don't think I have any of them because we're working with it, getting ready for the retreat, die cutting everything. But you can see that they have a die in there that'll cut out the snowman. Now we'll cut out only the snowman that has nothing on its head, right? Because otherwise it'll just trim it right off. So just FYI, so if you want this snowman, you would have to sit there and actually physically hand cut it out to get it, right? So I actually did one that had a scarf like that, and you're going to see that in a minute is what I did. You can also die cut out the trees. They've got the dies for that too. I chose to stamp mine and do it because I just need a little bit more color. So I'm going to show you some different things I tried, and I'm going to use them for something else. But this is using deckled rectangle dies. I'm actually using this paper here from a totally different set of paper. And then again here with the penguins, we have some that you can, like the one that has nothing on the head, you can die cut with it. But these, if you want the muffs, the hats, you'll have to hand cut those out themselves. But this one here that's got the little scarf too because it has nothing on its head, the dies will cut that out as well. And then I stamped some trees. I'll show you why I stamped the trees in a minute. Okay, so this is what we're going to be working with. And I got this out to show you because, I mean, it's like when I create, somebody thinks I've got a magical wand and I just wake up and create. Well, no, not really. It was that easy. I don't know if that's still almost how you do it, right? So it's really, I get into we're going to use a window sheet. That's an option. So it's a matter of, going exploring sometimes, and that's what I did this morning and yesterday. I've been doing it all week and everything else as you do retreats and everything so forth, and so you're always looking for different things, right? So this was cool, right? But it just wasn't going to work. It makes it look like a snowy background, right? The way the colors are and everything else. I just didn't, I don't have my pool party. I ran out of pool party cardstock, believe it or not. So I couldn't really use that. That's what that color is similar to. But what I did do is, if you want to, and I wanted to show you these right here. So if you're going to die cut, this is for another project that's part of the retreat. And you want to die cut first and then emboss, okay? Because if you run this through the embossing, you can see how lifted this up. And I'm going to color this for you just a minute so you can see how you can do it. Because I've got the lift right here, I can easily run a brush over this and give this a light color to it. If I run this through the embossing folder first and then die cut, because it's two different techniques you're doing, right? It sort of flattens this out so you don't have the height that you do when you sit there and reverse it. So you always want to die cut first, then emboss, all right? Die cut first, then emboss. All right. So what I did here, which is really cool that you can do with the embossing stuff like this, here is I left this one lifted. I'm not sure which one I'm going to prefer the most. And this one here, just to show you the other thing too, is so I sat there and used the blending brush create color and I stamped snowflakes. But I decided I really like this here better. And I'll show you in a minute as we look at the snowman so you can see the difference and see what you like the best, right? Because when we create, it's always about what we like the best. And for me, it depends what mood I'm in too, right? So I'm not necessarily a moody person, but you know, some days I just don't like something I liked yesterday. So here's an example. So if I put this over here and this was going to be my snow globe, this is the look I would get, right? Versus what I embossed and put some color on, there's the difference right there, right? So I decided I really wanted some texture back there. I'm going to have some other snowflakes in there too, but I wanted just a little bit of color and I wanted some embossing there too. And have it here on the front as well. Could have done it flat, but I really liked it better embossed. So, with that said, what we're going to do here is this is what we're going to end up doing now. I'll show you, just so you can see what it looks like with the snowman. Here's what the snowman looks like with that behind it embossed and just highlighting it. And then if I put it here on the flat piece, looking for my snowman's hat. And this is how it would look like. Okay? So I decided I wanted more texture to it. So I put this aside. I'll use it for something. I don't know what I'll use it for. I always save all the stuff I end up not using because I changed my mind. And I'll put this here. Same thing with this here. I can just as easily use this as is. Put my snowman here. I don't even have this die cut out. If you didn't want a shaker card, I would just elevate this up on whatever you want to put it on. And then let's say I was going to do it in the blue here. If I was going to do this on the blue, I would just die cut it like that. Take this leftover piece, pop it up on dimensionals, put a base on it, put the snowman and however else you want. And you have a snow globe as well too. But we're making a shaker card, so don't get rid of this because you can make another card with that. All right. So we're going to have to put something down on this, right? So I'm going to put this here. And let me just show you what I was talking about with this here. I'm looking for my blue ink here. Okay, so I'm going to show you. I feel like that the movie, the person says so all the time. So. All right, my daughter's listening. She'll most likely comment about that later. What is family for? So I'm going to show you this here. And you can see when I do that, it's not very dark. I didn't put a lot of ink on it, right? Because I'm just wanting a light color. But as a result, because I don't want to go too dark with it, I'm going to have to just lightly do a little bit at a time, right? And I just always keep a piece of paper. So I can sit there and do that as I want. You know, and you can do it over the greenery too. There's no reason why you can't do it over the little cutout greenery. Now this here is actually from the deer set. This die is, but it gives it a cool look, right? There's nothing to say you can't swap things around, intersperse things. I just like to use that paper from the bird. Wintry treetops. Okay, so you see just by lightly doing it, I just gave it just a little extra something, right? Just a little extra something. So that's what we're always looking for, right? Is can we get a little extra something? So that's what I did here. Let's see. I see you here. Hello, Bertner. I'm glad you are on. I hope your trip went well. And you're not working too hard. All right, so see, just so you can see, because it's raised, it just captures, it's just capturing the top of this, right? So it's just giving that highlight without overdoing it, all right? So let me set that aside. And I'm just going to put this over here because this isn't for this project. That's for another project, for our retreat. Okay. Like I said, we have the retreat that we have on the weekend, and we're going to also have a retreat to go in a box that you can do whenever you want with whoever you want. So this is going to go right up here like this here. So this one here I'm going to leave white, but you can see that it picks up the blue right in there, and it helps that I have the blue right here as well. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put this down, and then I'm going to show you, I'll wait to show you the heat embossing till we get to that part. I thought I'd show you everything up front, but I'm not. Changed my mind. It's been that kind of day, right? At least our heater's working fine, so if we finally decide to get some cooler weather, a cold spell, we have heat. That's always the most important thing, right? Do you have heat? That's a weak element. So yes. Hello, Lourdes. Hope you guys come by when it's trick-or-treat time. We've already got our trick-or-treat bags ready. Alright, so what we're going to do here is you're going to need a window sheet. And let's sit there and make this a shaker card. I just had it. Here we go. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to adhere this to back here. Right here. Alright. So for the sake of to speed it along, not necessarily speed it along, but I'm going to go ahead and use glue. And I'm just going to come around the rim just a bit like here, okay? Because this has got, I feel like Ruffles has ridges. This has ridges because of the fact that we embossed, right? So I'm going to go ahead and use the glue. So I just made this larger than the circle, right? But I wanted to make sure that it was enclosed enough, right? So we can sit there and do this. Okay, so the other thing that we're going to do is that's going to dry just a moment. And we have our snowman ready to go. And I'm just going to put the snowman up on dimensionals because I can, right? So I really should have done that before I did that there, but that's okay. I'm not going to sweat the small stuff. In fact, we're not going to show you what I just did. I just actually put that window sheet on the wrong side. Okay, that's always cool. That is the way the day has been going today, and that's okay. The sun will rise tomorrow, and I'm very grateful that God loves me. Oh, my word. Yes. So it's too funny. So yes, if I look flustered or anything, that's because I have on this long sleeve shirt. Because I expected it to be cold today. The cold front was supposed to come through, and I had expectations. Oh my word. Okay, let me get this right here. I'm gonna put this right here because I should have done this first. Eyeball it. Okay, there's our little snowman, and our little snowman also has a hat. Because I don't know, when we were kids, we went and got all of our clothing and whatever we had and decorated the snowman, right? What very little times we had. We actually got more snow when we lived in South Dakota. And then you have it for at least 9 months of the year we had it. So that made up for it. Okay, and I'm just going to put my snowman here. So right, you got to get your I don't mind it over your eyes a little, just not on your eye. Okay, there you go. Alright. So we're going to get the snowman up there, and I have one more tree. Now, I will tell you, I went ahead and did ink on mine, and the reason is because that, believe it or not, that is grassy green is the color, and it really comes out dark when you stamp it on there, and I'll show you, because I brought my extra paper up here. Oh, here you go. So, when you use grassy green, if you look at the cardstock, it's definitely lighter looking. This guy's hanging on there. So when you sit there and stamp it, though, it comes out really dark. So when you look at this, it looks like it's going to come out about like that, but it looks like it comes out maybe a couple of shades darker. Just tap that 3 times, and I'll use these trees later. But that's just how dark it comes, right? So if you're not sure what you want to do, I would test the color out first. I'm just toss it out of the way a second. I would test the color out first And that way you can see what it's going to look like. And just so you know, you can stamp this off, right? If you want to look like you got a shadow or trees that are off in the distance. It's a very nice color, and it's the same color. It's just a second stamp off. I didn't do that for this because I only wanted 3 trees. And, you know, I didn't have to think hard because all you got to do is look at the Designer Series paper, right? And you see how they sort of put trees. And they also have some snow globes in this paper. And that's where I sort of got the idea of doing just the 2 trees, right? So I'm going to actually put this tree flat in the background. If you think this is anything, you should see me this week. I mean, this week alone, not even this week isn't even finished. I've been going around like a chicken with my head cut off, man. Trying to get things done. Make things happen. So, yes. So, the little one, I wanted it to be up a little bit here, okay? And we do want this to dry, right? Because of the fact is that we're going to sit up here and put the globe on here in a second. So, just so you see where it's going. See how it looks? Alright, so what we have to do from here is, these guys aren't in here. This guy I saved aside just in case, right? Alright. So that's how I was inspired. As I'm eating breakfast, making sure I get everything for the live today, I see this paper. I'm thinking, how cute would that be if this penguin was out here? So I got my scissors and started cutting. So that's just how things happen, right, in this household. I'm sitting there, supposed to be doing one thing, and an idea comes to me. As I was staring at that card I showed you, it came to me. It's like, what about if you just add that little penguin, right? Okay, so this comes in strips. This is foam strips. And this is just easier when we're doing like now. I'm going to make a snow globe or any kind of shaker card because you really don't want any openings. And if you want to know about that, you can surely ask the love of my life because my first shaker, I didn't do that and didn't realize I didn't do that. And I went to show him, his stuff went all over him. So that was pretty cool. And not for him, he'll listen to this later, but it was like, it wasn't what I was expecting, right? And I wouldn't worry about this. I'm just trying to go around the rim, right? Just so it's on the outside. And nobody's going to see it, right? You're going to see it because you're live and watching, but anybody else isn't going to necessarily look unless they're wanting to recreate the card and they want to see how you did it so they can go do it. And then we'll do one more because it's not going to make it all the way, but we can easily make this connected, right? And see, it's just very easy to pull apart as well. So I'm just going to make sure I keep on going. And, you know, and I'm fine with even going past, right? Because the main thing is I don't want any space. All right? Okay. So that's the main thing. So we don't want any space. And see, it doesn't matter what it's going to look like, right? Because this is going to go on top of it, right? It's going to go just like this here. So don't sweat the small stuff because that's small stuff. Okay? And I'm thinking already. I make these, but I don't make them as often as I want to, right? So the nice thing is I know my paper's got to line up. And now I'm thinking, how can I do it easier? Okay. What we're going to do is we're just going to dump this all on the snowman. All right, so I use about, we're going to see how this looks. I'm going to use, oh, that'll be perfect. 1/4 of a teaspoon is what I used, okay? All right, so now I'm just going to take this here. And we're just going to peel it off. And I'm just going to start from the bottom. So I'm just going to make, because these are both the same size paper, I made sure of that. And I'm just going to come over just like this here. And I'm going to do it like this. Now we want to make sure everything's down. We can shake it. Right? And sometimes you'll get static in there. I don't control that. The main thing is that it's going to shake, and I'll get that down. There we go. Just test out the shaking and it all loosen up, right? But it does sometimes, if there's a lot of static, like in the house and all, You sit up there and it'll stick to that. All right, so we're not finished, right? Okay, so this is actually in the die set. Now this is actually silver foil. I die cut it first, like I told you, and then it just looks plain, so I just embossed it, right? And we're just gonna put this right here. It's just how they design the kit, so you can easily come in and do this here. Let's see where it is. I can see you, but I can't see you. Let's see here. Right? Busy, busy lady. Both of you ladies are always busy. We all are busy. I should say that. We all are always busy. Okay, so here's what this is here. Okay, so what I have left is I've got a tag, and I've already done one, and I'm going to show you what that one looks like here. And the way that, let's see if you can see this. I can't even see it myself. Okay, so the way you get it this white is we're going to do something. We're going to do some heat embossing, right? So if you take this stamp here, you can stamp in white and you can see it, but it's just not going to be the same, right? So let me show you. Now the thing is, you can technically actually heat emboss over heat embossing, but you're going to need a stamp apparatus, in which I have one. And you can like heat this up and then come back and stamp exactly in the same spot again and heat up again. So you can see, you can barely see that it's already stamped white right here. So I'm just going to put this on here, and we're going to just shake off the excess. I'm looking for my trees. Here we go. So it's just good to have something like this, and the reason why is, and they have it. I had this one for years, ever since I was scrapbooking. It allows you to not shake it off for a second. But the other thing is the heating tool, it gets hot, right? Let me let it heat up for us a moment, and I'm going to show you how this does. And this will clean off. If you won't get it all cleaned off of just wiping it on a regular mat, then just use some spray. Just get some spray to get the ink off. So this isn't like our alcohol inks or our water inks or anything like this. This is actually like a paint almost, right? So that's why it lets you heat emboss on it, because it's like reversal mark. It doesn't dry real quick. And so you can just heat it up. And you'll see it change, just like you use silver or gold or copper, right, or black. See, you can see it changing already. See how it just goes from lighter to brighter. And that's it. That's how easy it is to get it to do that. And it's done, right? So all I'm going to do with this here, just going to get that down. It's like, oh, they're all stuck together there. All right, they'll have to come down eventually. All right, so I'm just going to add this on here with dimensionals. Right here, just add it, let it snow. And then where's my little penguin guy go? I don't know if it's a guy, I just called it that. But I thought that would be cute, right? I don't know. Yeah, that'll put it with Let the Snow. This just happened while I was at breakfast, so I'm not sure. It might have to grow on me first. But I'm going to go ahead and put this on with dimensionals. At least I'll have it made the way I originally designed it. And then I can contemplate that, right? Now, they do have holly that you could put, but the holly's too big for Santa's hat. So that's why I didn't put it. So if you're wondering why there ain't any holly there, I could put these berries. I brought the little berries, but they're a little big too. I think there's in another stamp set, I have some smaller berries. I'll have to look. But I really wanted something a little bit smaller, right? I didn't want it too big. Yeah, let's get this on here. Okay, there we go. We're just going to let it snow. So it's up. You know, it's a debate, right? It's a debate whether I want this little character here or not. I can let it grow on me. Let me think about it, right? I don't have to make an immediate decision. Just like I made the immediate decision to cut it out. This is a cute kit. It's a cute kit indeed. All right, so I'm just going to leave this guy here for a moment. Leave the penguin right here, deciding, and see how we like that. I think I'm gonna let it go with it. But it is a fun kit, Sharon. It really, really is. I mean, I don't know if you get snow where you're at. We do not get. We rarely ever get snow here, right? So I mean, for us, it's like, yeah, we'd like some snow. We're not busy shoveling it or anything else or dealing with. I mean, we're still dealing. We're supposed to get dropped down in the 70s today, and I didn't feel it outside. I didn't feel it at all. I felt like it was still very warm, and I feel like I'm choking in a long sleeve shirt. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the card we made today. It's very fun. Think about that. You can use embossing folders on gold foil or any kind of foil, right? So it could be the gold, it could be the like a silver today, or it could be the copper. So any of them will work just fine, and any of the embossing folders will work as well too. So I hope you enjoyed it. It's all about creating, sharing, and giving, right? So go out there and create, share, and give it to someone. And this is just a fun card. We're busy, like I said, doing a retreat and getting our retreat stuff going. So if you didn't see the card to begin with, which inspired me to cut out this little guy, here's what we were showing. So there you go, right? So we always try to do, start from simple and work our way up. So I hope you enjoyed it. And you know what? And thank you for supporting us here and on YouTube as well as Instagram. And with that, we look forward to seeing you next week when we create our next card from this series. All right, be blessed. Look forward to seeing you next week. Bye.